Alrighty then. Time value of money. Ready? Okay. First thing we have to know about time value of money is the top row on the calculator. There's 5 different keys, and they're the same whether you're on a 10B2, a 12C, a spreadsheet, a piece of software, it doesn't matter. It's always these 5. All right? So you have N, you have IYR, you have PV, you have PMT, and you have FV. Those are your 5 time value of money keys. Quick explanation of each one. N stands for time. For us, it's going to be either months or years. Now, I want you to make a couple of notes. Months is known as 12 payments per year. Years are known as 1 payment per year. That's the thing in time value of money you have to remember about time. You're either in 1 payment per year or 12 payments per year. 12 is monthly, 1 is annual, okay? So Dan, let me ask you a question. Let's say that you are looking at a piece of property in your marketplace and you say, this property has been appreciating at 10% per year, okay? Here's the question. How many times per year does that appreciation occur? That 10%. What do you think? How many times per year? Okay, what do you think? Yeah, correct, once. So make this note in your book. Appreciation is 1 payment per year. And we're moving towards something here. I'm not just giving you whimsical, trivial pursuit information. There's a reason for this. We're getting there, okay? IYR stands for yield, rate, or interest. This is a percent value. You enter it into your calculator as a whole number. Calculator automatically moves the decimal 2 places to the left. Example, I want 5.25% interest. My key press is 5.25 IYR. It's not 0.0525. Calculator does the 0.0 part for you automatically. Enter your interest as a whole number. PV stands for present value. Present value in investing is a lump sum that occurs once at the beginning. If you are looking at borrowing a certain amount of money and your goal is to ultimately solve for your monthly payment, you would enter the loan amount as the PV. If you are looking at a piece of property and wondering what will it be worth in the future if certain things happen, you would enter the price as the PV. So the context depends on the question, but the thesis is always the same. This is a lump sum that occurs once at the beginning. And if you are reverse solving for present value, you're doing a financial process called discounting. So if you're solving for PV, you're discounting. PMT stands for payment. And in financial terms, the thing that's unique about payment is it's the same amount each and every time period, provided the other variables don't change. So why do people borrow money on 30-year fixed debt? So they know what their payment will be every month. Won't change. So the other things don't change, it won't change. So payment is a set of periodic payments either made or received by the borrower or the lender. And finally, we have FV. It's the opposite of the antonym of PV. FV is future value, a lump sum that occurs once at the end. So if you're looking at a property today, you know how long you're going to own it, and you can assume a rate of appreciation. You can figure out exactly what that property will be worth at the end. You're solving for future value, and you're doing a process called compounding. So future value is compounding, present value is discounting. So those are the simple definitions of the 5 keys across the top. Here's the next thing that you need to know. And time value of money always works this way. Find 3, solve for the 4th. That's the key to time value of money.
Say it again.
Find 3, solve for the 4th.
Okay.
So what most people have been accustomed to so far is having a present value, a term, and a rate, and solving for a payment. Most people that come here have done something like that. But if you have a present value, a rate, and a term, you can solve for future value. If you have a payment, a term, and a rate, you can solve for present value. They interchange. So what you have to think about, remember, is this. Find 3, solve for the 4th. It always works the same way. You can also do find 4 and solve for the 5th. We don't do those in here. We do find 3 and solve for the 4th. Okay? Third thing you have to remember about time value of money is the balancing. And the balancing is between these 2 variables, term and rate. And term and rate are balanced by something known as, I mentioned earlier, the number of payments per year. Now, the bad news is I need to explain this to you, and it's going to seem weird. The good news is I'm going to show you the sequence on the calculator, and if you just do the sequence the same way every time, you'll always get the right answer. You'll be good. But these are both balanced by the number of payments per year. So here's my infamous simple example to illustrate the point. Let's say that you're a borrower, and let's say that you are borrowing $100,000. You are the borrower. You're going to receive in that money as one lump sum. Positive, you're receiving it in. The lender says, I will offer you these terms of repayment, just to keep it simple. 30 years with monthly payments, that's your N, and, again to keep it simple, 12% per annum interest, that's your IYR. If you borrow this money and make each and every one of the payments over the entire 30-year loan term, how many total payments will you have made? 360, exactly. And the way that we would express that in financial analysis and time value of money is 30 times 12 payments per year. Then the follow-up question is, what would be your interest rate per payment? You have a 50% chance of getting it right. What's your, if your interest rate is 12% per year, what's your interest rate per payment?
12%. No,
1.
12%.
Or 12 divided by 12 payments per year. So this is how the balancing works. All right? Term is always times number of payments per year. And rate is always divided by number of payments per year. That's how the balancing is done in time value of money. And like I said, the bad news is I had to explain all this to you. The good news is if you just do this the right way in your calculator every time, you get the right answer. So let's do this one, okay? So the first thing I want you to do on your calculator is this. In the lower left-hand quadrant, you have what I call the gold key. It's orangey, but it's that color one down there. Press that and then press the C key, and you'll see it says clear all on the bottom of it. Gold key, clear all. When you do that, let's see, so Peter, you have the calculator. When you press gold key and then the C, what flashes in your display?
It's 12.
12 payments per year,
Per year,
okay?
per year.
Those of you who have the app, there's different apps in the room, locate resident in your display, usually the upper left. Does it say 12 PYR or 1 PYR?
Payments per year 12.
Okay, where are you at, Dan?
In the
Should be in like the upper left. You got it, Andrew?
It says payment per year 12.
Okay, take a look at his and see if you
mine
can.
says 604. So I don't know how I'd get rid of that.
Well, I'll show you.
See all.
Okay, here's what I want everybody to do, just to practice this. Let's reset the calculator for 1 payment per year. Here's how you do that. Press 1, press that gold key, and then in the top row, press the payment key. 1 gold key payment. When you do that, you app people should see 1 PYR in your display, and you should see 1 PYR flash in your display. Okay? Everybody got that? You got that, Dan? one gold key payment.
It's,
Yeah.
And then you can do 12 gold.
Exactly.
Yeah, that works.
So now we'll go from 1 to 12. So just type in 12 gold key payment. So everybody do that. So here's a little thing that makes a big difference with this payment per year business. Once you set it, it's not going to like go back to a certain default value. It will stay on what you left it at unless you go back and change it physically again. So when you do these problems, first thing you have to do is check how many payments per year am I in, okay? So this problem we're going to do has monthly payments. Therefore, we want to preset the calculator for 12 payments per year, okay? So I've cleared it and I've set it for 12 payments per year. Now I'm going to enter the $100,000. So type in 100,000 and then press your PV button. So that enters the 100,000 into the PV register. And you must press PV to log it in there. Now enter the interest rate. Type in 12 and press IYR. Okay? Now you've got your 12% interest. Now I want you to enter the 30 years, but I want you to do it this way. 30 gold key N. This is the magic step that will balance.
That's what I was doing wrong.
Okay?
Doing 360.
Well, and if you do 360N, that will also
It
work.
does, okay.
Okay? But, and this is the important but, the reason you must preset this calculator for the correct number of payments per year is there are two conversions that go on, remember? Term is times number of payments per year, and rate is also divided by number of payments per year. They both happen, but here's the problem. You don't see the 1% conversion in your display, but it's doing it internally. You see this conversion. Now take a look at the bottom of the N key. See how it says times PYR? So when you press gold key N, it's taking the 30 and multiplying it times the 12 you stored in the payment register. That's how this works. So as I said twice before, here's the third time. If you just do this stuff in this sequencing, make sure you're on the correct number of payments per year, and always press the gold key before the N, always press the gold key before the N, always press the gold key before the N, you're good. Now the methodology is this. Find 3. Oops. It's not one of them. Find 3. Solve for the 4th. So here we have PV, rate, and term entered. Here's the last press. PMT. Press that. What'd you get, Cheryl?
1028.61.
1028.61. Amazing how it always comes out that way. And is that number positive or negative?
Well, it's showing negative.
Exactly. I'm going to put brackets around it like this to denote negative. It's just an accounting thing. It's just easier to read on the whiteboard. Why is your payment negative?
Because that's what you're going to be paying every
You're,
month.
you're paying it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how this sign convention stuff works on the HP calculator. This is positive. I received it in. Therefore, this must be negative. I have to pay it back. If I would have entered the 100,000 as negative and done everything else the same way, I would have gotten 1,028.61. It just would have been positive. So in that instance, I'm the lender. I pay out the lump sum. I receive in the payment positive. So it'll always flip the sign convention on the back end. Okay. I'll talk more about sign convention later. But for now, take a look in the far left column. I think it's the third row down. See that plus minus button? See that one that says plus/minus? That's your sign convention button. Just tap that once. So it makes this positive. Tap it again. It just toggles it back and forth. Okay? Another thing while we're here, I want you to quickly on your calculator, press gold key equals 0. So it chopped off the pennies?
Yeah.
Says 1,029. Now press gold key equals 2. Puts them back. That's what's known as significant places. Now do this. Gold key equals 4. And that'll put 4 numbers to the right of the decimal. We'll use that later in certain percentage calculations. But this is called sign convention, and that's how you change it on the HP10BII. All right, so I showed you where the sign convention thing is, and this is the significant place thing. I'm sorry, I said this is sign convention. This is significant places here. All right, so that's good.
Yeah.
You guys got through your first time value money problem. Not too
How long has the
bad.
calculator been out?
10B2?
Yeah, this one.
At least probably 17 to 20 years that I know of.
Is that right?
Well, that's the second one. There was a Model 1, this is Model 2.
Okay, after the 12C? Or?
After the 12C, correct. Yeah. My father gave me my first 12C in 1984.
Yeah.
And I lent it to a student in Spokane, and he didn't give it back to me. Rat
My
bastard.
coworker's still using one at one year.
Oh, yeah.
She said, she said, I'm sorry, I don't need to learn a new one now.
Well,
She was commercial.
I've written books on these things, so let me tell you from an author's perspective, here's the difference. It's the basic math. The 12C uses the RPN. It's a vertically stacking calculator. When it comes to this kind of stuff, there's no difference at all because nobody knows how to do it anyway. In fact, this is actually faster to do time value of money than the 12C
Interesting. Okay.
if you care about saving 3 or 4 seconds in your life, but it is faster. So, but it's the plus minus stuff. The 4-function math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that's what people's brain gets accustomed to with the 12C.
Much more user-friendly, I think.
This is an algebraic calculator.
Okay.
It's what it's how most people speak and think. See, back in the 60s, before the war, when I was learning how to add, we did it this way. Okay? That's RPN. Now they do it this way. That's algebraic. So that's the difference between the 12C and that calculator. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good on that? Good?
Just got a few
Good?
steps, yeah.
Okay.